Hello, gentlemen. It's Joy Rochelle. I am just so honored to be here. I'm going to really work on keeping these videos short and sweet since there'll be hopefully about 10 of them. We'll see what source God has in store for me with this content of talking about embodying the 10 essentials. If you did not watch the video I posted previously listing all 10, I suggest you go back and watch that. It's about 8 minutes. I don't go into any of them deep, though. I don't go into any of the essentials on a deeper level because we're going to do that here. I finally felt ready to do it because I feel like I'm getting a download from source right now as I'm speaking. So recommend go back to watch that if you feel inclined to do the homework assignment and you're curious about it. Start it. Take time to do it. It's not something that's going to be a fast experience. It may have to be in a homework assignment that you start and come back to really go deeper. I usually give short implementable, really short homework assignments, but this one is really important because it's going to have you come to an understanding of where you are with how you're embodying and living these 10 essentials if they are in your life. And give you a sense of where you want to be on a tangible level from a scale of 1 to 10, but also going in deeper to connect with yourself and talk about them and write what's going on, what you're feeling regarding these 10 essentials. So I just wanted to give you that little piece before we start. And so the first essential of life, and these are in no particular order. This just happens to be number one. If it's not number one for you, that's fine. Is your belief in source, God, a higher power. Assign whatever word to that magnificent energy that is within you, but that is also on a grander scale and bigger than you and omnipresent. Assign whatever word you want it to. You can just call it energy if you want, your intuition. We are all connected to that energy, especially in another realm. We're also connected to each other. We look very separate when we're heavily deposited in functioning in this 3D world, in this body, in this human experience. We look separated, but on another dimension, in a higher level, on a spiritual level, we are all connected to each other, and we are also connected to that energy. And that's why we can feel each other's energy even if we're not seeing each other in person. And so I hope that you really feel my energy here as I'm speaking with you. My thoughts on this is basically this belief, this intimate relationship that you're creating with this energy is the foundation for everything, is the foundation for how and why and when and where you get to create. It's the energy that wakes you up and gets you started on your purpose physically and mentally and spiritually. It's the energy that allows you to breathe breath into your body through your lungs and your respiratory system. It's the energy that we can't really explain, but we know is there because we have a relationship with it consciously and subconsciously, and sometimes we don't, but something happens in our life where that energy came in to really support us. And it's in several situations. I know in my personal experience, it's hard to explain what happened, but I knew there was a support that I actually couldn't see, taste, and touch, but I could feel that supported me. And I want to leave you with a little story around that. I want you to really ask yourself a few questions first. What is your belief in this energy and God and source and the higher power? Do you believe this energy, this omnipresence of this magnificence? Do you believe that one exists? And if you believe that it does exist, are you cultivating with intention a relationship with it? A few ways of how I stay connected to God, to Source, is in my journal. I actually write "Dear God" in my personal journal to myself. I pray, I meditate, and I always feel connected to that energy when I go out into nature, especially in the ocean, and when I look out to see the vastness, the magnificence of the ocean and the beach. So those are a few questions to ask yourself. Maybe journal on, or sit in reflection, or have a meditative walk around it, and really again tap into where you are. Can you go deeper in cultivating this relationship, especially during this time? I've told a few clients and just people in general, when speaking about God and believing and trusting in that energy, this is where it is so vital to lean into that relationship, to have it be such a deep, personal, intimate relationship. And however you want to create that, where that's going to church through organized religion, or taking on a more spiritual, non-denominational approach, it is up to you, and you get to cultivate that relationship and have that experience with this energy in any way you see fit. So what I wanted to leave you with is, we are in a really interesting time of transformation, but there's a lot of shadow work and things that we are as a people purging and coming up to the surface. There's a lot of things being revealed about people and power and systems needing to crumble to have us create this new world and come into a new energy as a people together in unity, and also on an individual level. And so this is the most vital time for you to lean into, especially when it gets difficult and challenging, for you to lean into that relationship with that energy. This is a beautiful opportunity for you to trust, for you to surrender. And if you don't know how to do that in this relationship with that energy on a energetic level, one tangible way you can do that is through practicing yoga. And when you get in the asana practice, the posture part of yoga, just laying in shavasana, corpse pose, teaches us how to really trust and surrender. I always tell clients it's one of the most important postures of the practice, because it teaches us, especially men, how to just be and lay there and open your heart, open your body, and surrender and receive all the goodness of the practice, any sacred messages that are coming in, to really allow yourself to fully receive all that you created in this practice, moving your body in all these different shapes. It's a way for you to surrender, for you to just trust and just be. So maybe practice that. See if you can lay on your back, eyes closed, palms up, feet turning out, and really trust that whatever you get to experience in that practice of just laying there and being, there's something so magical and spiritual about it. It's a way for you to open your heart and to receive support. And I know that can be hard for men to cultivate, to drop into, to be in their empowered feminine energy and be, right? And be magnetic and surrender and trust. That's how you get to harness your feminine energy, regardless if you are identifying as a man or a woman. We all have feminine and masculine within us. And so I'll leave you with a little story here, because I'm about to get to 9 minutes of this video, going in on this video, and I want to make this, short, sweet, succinct. When I was in India in 2015, I went there to actually study the roots of yoga and to earn my yoga certification to be able to teach. But it was really a quest to find myself again, to deepen my practice of yoga and to really understand the roots of it and have that education and philosophy and practice around that part, because I didn't have that learning it here in the US. And one day, me and my friend went together, and one day we went there in monsoon season. So it was in August, and there were torrential rains flooding India, it felt like. And at the time, during this storm, this monsoon that was happening, we were on the road in a car going from one part of India to Agra, where the Taj Mahal is, to see the Taj Mahal, to stay there and to see it the next day. Make a long story short, our driver who was driving us was a native, from there, obviously. And there was not that many cars on this 4-lane highway that we were on. And there were a few people just like speeding past us on their motorcycles in the rain, in their cars. But they were far few in between as far as like the amount of traffic. It just wasn't like busy the time we were traveling there. But it was torrential rains, and it almost looked like the driver couldn't see where he was going. And he was like speeding. He was like going fast. And me and my friend looked at each other, was like, okay, he's going too fast. And we asked him like twice to like slow down, just because we knew like this could end dangerously if he doesn't slow down. And now I'm starting not to feel safe because my heart is like going right. I feel like it's about to jump out of my chest. And as soon as we looked at each other, I just asked him to slow down for the second or third time. And me and my friend looked at each other. And as soon as we looked at each other, the car started spinning. And it literally moved from one lane to the next, to the next, to the next. And we just stopped. Luckily, there were no cars coming toward us. We did not run into the side of the road where there was like a wall there. We didn't. Our car literally just did a 360 and spun a few lanes over and then just stopped. And at that moment, it was another confirmation how powerful God is. Because I could have been dead. This could have been a really bad accident with my friend and this gentleman in the car who was driving us. And he literally got out the car and looked like he wanted to cry, because he knew then, like, these American women might report me and I might lose my job. He actually said that. And then we talked it out. We got back in the car. He actually didn't have on his seatbelt when he was driving. He put on his seatbelt. And he actually asked us what type of work did we do. And I felt like he knew energetically that me and this woman, my friend that I was with, had already cultivated a deep, very deep connection with God in our very own way. And we felt heavily connected to that even more when we were in India, because we could just feel the energy, the holy, sacred, spiritual energy there on that land from the places that we traveled to. And he really asked us, like, what industry are you in? What do you do? And we looked at each other and just started laughing, because we knew that he knew on some level, he knew that we were protected, and that experience was a tangible 3D real life moment of how protected we were. Whether you call it God, source, ancestors, angels, all of the above, my whole spiritual team up there, I knew it was not my time to go. Obviously, I wouldn't be here talking to you, telling you, regurgitating this story. And I actually haven't told this story in years, but it came through me today to talk to you about it, to show you how powerful God can be when you lean into that relationship. And that things that you desire and manifest will just show up like that in the 3D. They already happened in the spiritual higher plane world where we're all connected. But sometimes they take a moment to really show up here where we can smell, touch, taste, feel, and experience them, because we have a block. Maybe we're not trusting. Maybe we're not surrendering. Maybe we haven't cultivated a relationship with this energy. And so that block, that spiritual block, is blocking everything else and holding everything else up. And so I say that to you to show you why this creates such a foundation for the rest of the essentials I'm going to be talking about throughout the week or over the next 10 days, but also for your own experience, your own well-being, your own creating in this life with yourself, with that energy, and with collaborating with other people. And so I always give thanks to God and write to, I call it him, that energy, but you can call it them, and really bring them into my embodiment living and my embodiment practices from my yoga practice, especially in my meditation. I always pray before I start meditation. I end it with a small prayer, and then I do a separate prayer just for other people in the world. And so I just wanted to leave it there to see if to give you a message to really chew on, and an example from my life around how this energy is always supporting me and always supporting all of us, regardless if we have an intimate relationship with this, with God, source, or not. It's always there. You're breathing, so you're getting support from that spirit world. And that's it. Like, see what your thoughts are around this. What are your reflections? What are your realizations? You're welcome to drop them in the comments below. You put hashtag replay if you're watching a replay. I'm not sure if I'm going to go on live with any of these videos right now, but I'm here for you. So please start a conversation below in the comments. You can always DM me if you want to, talk a little bit deeper about this, but please engage. This community is nothing without you. So you bringing your energy to this conversation inspires us all, and gives us permission to all be vulnerable with each other and respect each other's views and words and have vibration. So you just typing your energy on here is very important to keep the vibration here high and open and expansive in this group. And so that's it. I will see you in the next post. And so stay tuned for number 2 of the 10 essentials coming up shortly. Ciao.